Hello and welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute-a-day podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse, recorded here in the dining room of the Bible Bistro, located in Sharonville, Ohio. Well, hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. Today in the Bible Bistro, we're studying Psalm 38, verses 9 through 12. So we've really already set the table here for what David's prayer is. He begins with his great, plea there in verse 1, rebuke me not in your wrath, neither chasten me in your hot displeasure. And the wrath and the hot displeasure and the arrows and the hand pressing and the anger is manifesting in this sickness that he has. But he realizes that he's got a broken relationship, and so he makes this confession there in 3, 4, and 5. And he tells us more about this, the sickness and what's going on, the loathsome disease, the disquietness of the heart. He's feeble, he's sore broken, he's bowed down, he's troubled, he's mourning, his wounds stink and they're corrupt. There's no soundness in his flesh, which he repeats there in 3 and in 7. So now we come to verse 9, and really verse 9 is just sort of a repeat prayer. It goes along with the prayer in verse 1. Verse 1 is a plea that God would, take this wrath away. Rebuke me not, chasten me not. So here in verse 9, we have the beginning of the second prayer, and we'll read that verse 9 through verse 12 today. And then we will, tomorrow actually, we're going to see the shadow of Christ's passion in verses 13 and 14. We have the great confession of faith there in 15 and part of 16. And then we have another confession of sin in 18. And then we end the psalm with prayer. So let me read for you verses 9 through 12 today. Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee. My heart pants, my strength fails me. As for the light of mine eyes, it also is gone from me. My lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore, and my kinsmen stand afar off. They also that seek after my life lay snares for me. They that seek my hurt speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all the day long. I feel like we need to have a prayer after that one. Wow, there's so much here, isn't there? My desire is before you, my groaning is not hid from you. Have you ever prayed that prayer when you just go to the Lord, you say, you know what I want. You know what's going on. So you know exactly what it is that I need. My groaning is not hid from you. Why is that? Well, because the Lord hears your prayer. Are you praying to Him? If you're not praying, then what's He got to listen to? He needs to hear you pray. And so David says here, my desire is before you, my groaning is not hid from you. I've been making this prayer. You know what it is. Please don't rebuke me in your wrath. I'm confessing my sin now. And then he gives us more of this condition that he's under. He says there in verse 10, my heart pants, my strength fails. As for the light of my eyes, it's also gone from me. So this connects with everything he told us there in 5 through 8 about his disease that's on him, this, no soundness in the flesh. And then 11, we get something even more specific. He says, my lovers and my friends stand aloof from my sore. His sore. Well, you go back up into verse 5, and it said, my wounds stink and are corrupt. And then in 11, he says he has a sore. Maybe we have here some condition of the skin, a leprous condition of the skin. And no doubt David is really worried about this. If this is leprosy, what are we going to do? And you'll notice it says there in 5, the wounds stink. This is a condition of leprosy. The corruption is, of course, another condition of leprosy, and all that leprosy does to the human body. So if he's suffering under some sort of skin disease or ailment where there are open wounds, sores that are running, a nasty discharge with a foul odor, we can understand why the lovers and the friends all stand aloof, right? The kinsmen stand far off. But then we have verse 12. They that seek after my life lay snares for me. You know, he's not really mentioned the enemy at all, but now there are those that seek his life, and they're going to take advantage of this. They seek my hurt. They speak mischievous things and imagine deceits all day long. They're laying snares for David. Why? Because he's weak, he's sick, and they see an opportunity, an opening to have what they want. So this is the second prayer, plus some more description of his condition. You know, this is wonderful because when we pray, this is exactly how we are to pray. We're to pray, that the Lord would take up our case, our cause, heal us. He would redeem us. We confess our sin, and then we make our plea to him. Here's the situation, and just lay it all out before him. All the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. Just lay it all out before him and say, Father, here it is. Here's my case. Maybe you should do that today, friend. Just lay it all right out before him. You say to me, I've already done it. Well, do it again. Just do it again. It's a good exercise. It's good for the soul, and it will help you with the disquietness of your heart. Join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 13 through 17 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. For more fresh and delicious Bible studies, podcasts, books, and more, check out the Bible Bistro online and on YouTube. Join me again next time for Daily Dose Radio.